I am bored, ladies and gentlemen, like quite literally. I've done so many videos on so many different games, but honestly, I want to do another incremental video. So here we are in Garden Incremental, a pretty popular incremental game that's released around a month ago. And from what I've heard and the amount of people asking me to play this, I believe it's really fun. So let's go ahead, let's go noob to pro, and of course get maxed out. Also, feel free to like and subscribe if you don't want to see more, and yeah, let's get started on the grinding. Alright, so first things first, how exactly does this work? Well, from what I'm understanding, we need to go over to this tree, right? And then every single click, we're going to be getting seeds, which then we can use on upgrades, and I think even reincarnation as well. Yeah, this is going to be the first resets that we have in this game, and then obviously it's going to be starting off pretty small, you know, 1x to 3x seeds, and then probably as we go on through, there's going to be other boosts, like for example, apples, I guess, and honestly, who knows what else that I can get in this garden. Literally, there's plants over here, logs, I guess a teleporter that will take us to different worlds, and probably so much more. So let's stop the yapping and let's, I guess, get started on our very first upgrade. So let's start off by getting maybe a few seed multipliers, right? And then maybe as well some cooldown decreases. Now, every so often, it seems like we do go ahead and get ourselves apples, which then we can also use on even more multipliers. Now, what should we spend the multipliers on? Should we maybe go for like a stats multiplier or maybe faster apples? I mean, all of them seem to be really good, but maybe for the time being, let's start off with what seems to be the best, which is going to be a stats multiplier. Don't worry, by the way, all of these other upgrades, we will get back to them, but obviously we first need to upgrade, I guess, everything in general so then we can, you know, get enough apples to do so. But anyways, in this game, we also have, you know, runes, which is typically found in incremental games. Now, in order to this one, it is going to be costing us 100 seeds, and it seems like you can open 448 runes in 4 seconds. That doesn't make sense. Wait, why do I have such fast rune speed? I think something's wrong with the calculations over here, because if every single rune costs 100 seeds, there is no way I can open up 700 runes. Let's just step on this and for some reason we have just a ridiculous amount of, I guess, rune bulk or rune cloning. I think it has something to do with these weathers over here, because there's like blood moon, sandstorm, snow, and rain, which probably is very OP or something. I mean, I don't know what these do. I mean, there's no like explanation for them, but considering that I guess my rune stuff is really OP, it's probably really helpful. Let's, I guess, have a look at what exactly these runes do. So over here we have seeds multipliers, plants multipliers, and that seems to be relatively it at the moment. Now, these last few ones are very rare, you know, 1 in a million and 1 in 50 million. Definitely going to need some more rune luck if I have a chance to roll those. Now, maybe I might roll a legendary, but I'm gonna guess no for the time being. Let's just use the multipliers that we have gained at this very moment in order to upgrade, I guess, even more multipliers, you know, upgrading seeds by a lot. In this case, from 6x up to 51x. And now we are getting 14k seeds per click. And we can also even increase the click speed, which I guess is going to be giving us, you know, even more seeds. And oh, would you look at that? Apparently, we can already go ahead and do our first reincarnation. So let's do that, and seems like we have a little bit of an animation here. Boom, there we go. We now have reincarnation 1. It just teleported me, I guess, back to spawn. And I think we just have to repeat the process over and over. I'm not sure if I've unlocked anything. Wait, I did unlock something. I unlocked plants over here, which again seems to be following the same strategy. You know, you can get more multipliers for the things we've already unlocked, and even unlock something completely different. But we are going to be needing 1 million plants. Why not go ahead and grind for that, right? 1 million does sound like a lot, but I'm sure it's not going to be taking, you know, too long. So give me around maybe 5 to 10 minutes of, I guess, just spamming these upgrades, and then let's see what we're able to do. Will we be able to unlock this 1 million plant upgrade, or are we going to be much stronger or much weaker? And okay, everybody, this is very interesting. It turns out I am already able to reincarnate, and not only that, I can significantly get more than enough plants in order to get the logs, and I'm not joking, I've barely been over a few minutes. But hey, come closer to the screen really quickly. You guys want to know something crazy? Apparently, there's a way for us to get ridiculously stronger in a matter of like a few upgrades. Yes, that's right, I am talking about the event worlds. Apparently these are really easy to do and they are ridiculously broken, so why not go ahead and, you know, jump into it? Maybe we might be able to unlock like the final world after this in the matter of like what, maybe like 5 minutes? Okay, maybe that's a stretch, maybe not that fast, but then again, who knows? So let's, I guess, get started on what we can do in this world. So we can take out enemies over here, which are going to be dropping us bones and I think flesh as well. Yeah, we get flesh guaranteed, and then the bones are going to be like the special items that you have a really low chance of getting. Then over here we have Fleshify, which is, I guess, kind of like a reset. Yes, it is. And we have a global boss, I guess. Sword enchants, sword crafting. Wow, there's actually so much here. And another type of world or global boss. Even some kind of candy corn collection thingy over here. Yo, okay, this might be way too much for me to handle. How on earth am I going to get through all of this? Maybe I should have played this game when the Halloween event originally came out, because I have a feeling that probably this is like 3 or 4 updates, like separated. Whatever, I guess it's better late than never. Let's, I guess, do this trick or treat thing, since apparently we can do it. Okay, cool. But it seems like the majority of our grinding is going to be all the way back here, taking out basically all of these enemies and upgrading our flesh upgrades. Let's go ahead and let's start, I guess, a short time lapse of me running through this world, because I have a feeling this beginning section is probably going to be taking quite a while. Put your guesses down in the comments how long this is going to take, but yeah, let the speedrunning begin. I think we can end off the time lapse around here. I mean, as you guys can see, we managed to get, you know, a few upgrades, and we have a 60k, or should I say 52k flesh, which unfortunately isn't really that much. But then again, I mean, what else could I really do? I mean, maybe I could craft these swords, but I don't even know how to. Do I just click this craft button? Okay, we need flesh and we need bones. Seems to be a pretty simple crafting recipe, but again, I'm still missing like 100k of the flesh, and we need another bone, which is probably going to be another 5 minutes of AFK at least. But hey, maybe the runes will be able to clutch up for me. Maybe if I just stand on this, I'll get something good. So come on, game, please, please, please. Well, this seems to be a little bit embarrassing. It seems like even if we spend like 10k of the flesh, right? It's not going to really be doing much, since even with 33 of the fears, we're only getting like a 2% boost, a 3% boost from this curse, and that is literally it. Seems like this world is going to be taking much longer than 5 minutes. I was completely wrong, at least on the Halloween part. Maybe the 500k event is the one that's, you know, only supposed to take like 5 seconds to upgrade. So how does this work again? Oh yeah, you just run over these like crystals, which counts as like collecting them, and then, you know, you buy some upgrades such as, you know, this and this. Then as well, just like the Halloween event and as well the main world, you can ascend once you reach a certain point. You can also open some runes, and then I think that is all we can focus on at the moment, since over there is like an upgrade tree which costs like a few million of the event shards, and then over here I think it's once again just something else which costs like a ridiculous amount. Nope, it doesn't cost a ridiculous amount. It just costs event crystals, which I have no clue how you get these. Are these like a really like small chance to get from just the ground? Not gonna lie, as I'm running around this event world, I actually just realized something. This isn't going to be as long as I might have originally thought. Yeah, look at that. We're getting so many event shards, and the more we get, the more we're going to be able to upgrade this. And even the other upgrades too, we get more event crystals, for example. Event crystal, chance, event bulk, event luck. You get the idea. Literally running around, it is actually so exponentially increasing that it might actually be maybe 10 times or 20 times easier than the Halloween world. Or again, maybe it's going to become easier later in the Halloween world. Again, I don't know, I'm not going to focus too much on that, but let's end off, I guess, this section of the world by getting this legendary crystal and then rolling some of the event shards since, yeah, I managed to get 4 of them. Pretty cool. Okay, from 4 rolls, we managed to go ahead and get ourselves the 4% rare, giving us 50% extra shards, 50% extra tickets. And I guess for the time being, that's where we're going to be ending off. So let's head on back over to the Halloween event, right? It's really important that we finish these events as much as possible because even when they vanish, I'm pretty sure we still keep the boost. Plus as well, I double checked with a few people that played this game. They told me focus on the Halloween event and the event worlds first. Hopefully it's not because endgame, like in the main worlds, is ridiculously hard. Because imagine if it's like ocean worlds, like hundreds of hours of grinding, right? Without the event worlds. I would actually be cooked and start crying. Whatever, let's just go ahead. Let's continue grinding, I guess, in this world. And yeah, I guess I'll catch you guys in probably an hour or 2 or maybe even longer. And alright, after a ridiculous amount of time later, it's been around, I think, 3 hours. We are now back, I guess, to wrap up the video with a little bit more showcasing and a bit more progression. Let's, I guess, start off with probably showcasing the runes, since I did AFK for around, an hour on them, getting this amount of runes, 5 of these Grims, 90 of these Knights, and, they're giving me some OP boosts. Then from there, I also did, a bunch of the upgrades. I got this flesh multiplier, this damage multiplier, and even a few random ones, here and there. But the most important one is going to be now unlocking the candy corn and as well, I guess, getting a candy corn multiplier. Yeah, now we have a 3 times boost. Now, once we head on over to, I guess, the candy corn, let's quickly craft a new sword since I have made, 2 already. And as you guys can see, I can go ahead and make a 3rd one. Like literally, it's not even that expensive. I only need 100 billion of the flesh, which I'm pretty sure I get from taking out like, yeah, 1 enemy. So if we just head on over here and craft that, that is going to be another sword acquired. And then in order to craft the next one, I need 25 bones, 200 trillion fresh, and 1 human eye, which shouldn't take too long, maybe 1 to 2 hours. And if we do go ahead and get it, it's basically a 2 times damage boost in basically everything. But anyways, heading on over to the candy corns over here, it seems like it is a very simple system. You just run around, you run over them, you collect the candy corns, and then, you just buy a few boosts here and there. Now, what's really cool about this is that it not only increases how much candy corn you get, but it also increases luck, Halloween bulk, candy corn's zone size, flesh multiplier, and again, a bunch of other stuff that we can do around the map. Plus as well, we also have a rune over here, which I guess once we go ahead and roll on it, it would probably give us even more OP candy corn boosts, but as well flesh boosts, which we do really need at the moment because right now we are very poor. And oh, would you look at this? Apparently there's like a refined candy system where for every 10 billion candy corn, you can make this refined candy. And again, it has very similar upgrades. And then I assume this is going to be something related to refined candy version 2. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And then the mutations over here, I think this is just related to getting candy boosts. Yeah, candy boosts, tickets, refined candy, and even factorized candy. I think that is the second tier I was talking about, the one we unlock over here. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately for today's video, we have ran out of time. Now, don't worry, if this video does well, you guys hit that like and subscribe button, I will make a part 2 as soon as possible. And I promise you guys, in that part 2, it's going to be an extra long video. Like, we would at least, bare minimum, max out or complete the Halloween world. Then obviously, if we're able to accomplish more, for example, unlocking a few of the main worlds, or maybe completing the 500k event, it's gonna depend on, number one, if you guys really want to see those next videos. And as well, I guess how long it takes. I mean, maybe next weekend or maybe sometime Wednesday, Thursday or Friday, I'll just be able to play this like on the side and like, you know, level myself up. But I'm gonna leave the decision to you guys. Again, feel free to like and subscribe. Literally takes like 5 seconds out of your day. And until next time, I guess I'm going to AFK on the global bosses or whatever these world bosses are, since apparently they give you like accessories or something. I'm not entirely sure. All I know is that when a boss spawns, it has like a 20 to 25% chance to drop something, and I just haven't gotten any of them yet to showcase. We'll find out next video, but apart from that though, peace out everybody.